Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Friday. Okay, guys, so today we are going to be right after this going live for Hot Messy Topics, which I'm so excited for with Kim from Bravo Breaking News. Guys, it's been a minute. I've missed everyone, I've missed the lives, and now that we're getting settled in, I feel like we can get back to it, which is absolutely amazing. Now, with that, we're back to talk about Kyle Richards, Dorit, PK, Jax, and a few little clips. So before we jump in, you guys know how this works. If you haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you have not smashed that like button, go ahead and do that as well. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. I think I said everything, maybe even twice. Here we go.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
All right, guys. So we are back to talk about Kyle Richards and Jax a little bit. But before we do, I just wanted to say thank you guys for being so patient with everything. I really appreciate it. And I know you guys aren't here to hear sob stories and stuff like that, but I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys bearing with me over the last month, and I'm ready to get back into this. Here we go. Thank you to Reality Blurb. Kyle Richards is reacting to the separation of Dorit and her husband, PK, during an appearance on Monday. Now, days after kicking off production on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 14, at a party thrown by Sutton Strack, Kyle teased a potential confrontation with Dorit, who failed to support her amid her own separation from Mauricio. She also shared if her estranged husband would appear on new episodes and look back on her run-in with a rat. I feel bad for them. Obviously, going through that is difficult enough without everybody wanting to know all the details. So, I feel terribly for them. Now, after she was then asked if Dorit's challenges would help her realize how unsupportive she was to her amid season 13, Kyle said, "This will be addressed." But in the weeks leading up to the start of filming, Kyle consistently said she was not yet signed on. So why did she make this decision like such a long drawn out thing? That's I think what people were wanting to know. But that's funny that fans were wanting to know that, because personally, I'm like, wait a minute. The woman showed her divorce or her split. She's obviously, I mean, he moved out. We got to see glimpses of Morgan Wade. I think that's what the fans were so upset about. They were like, we want more Morgan Wade. We want to know the truth. And unless Kyle Richards was going to say, we hooked up, that wasn't going to be the truth. There was no truth that people were going to get, or an answer that they were going to get that they would be happy with. And people feel invested. They watched her on the show for a long time, and they're still watching her. Now, getting back to why she took so long, I was just torn because it's been a long time since I've been on the show, and last year was hard, and I really wanted to come back to having some fun on the show, and I just needed some more time since the reunion. It was very soon that they started talking about it, and it was a much harder decision to make this year, I guess, in more like better, easier, make this year showing up for work than any of the other years, is essentially what she's saying. When I do finally decide not to come back, it's going to be hard because it's been such a big part of my life for so long. And like I said, the crew are like family to me. But as for whether Mauricio will be seen on the new episodes, Kyle said, I'm sure he will because, he's obviously my family. But looking ahead, Kyle said that she hopes to have fun on season 14. Now, also on the live stream, Kyle looked back at the moment that the rat crawled onto her car, causing her to go into a complete panic. And she said, I went to go get coffee and I'm sitting in my car looking at my emails, and just doing my thing and relaxing because I had some time to get to my next appointment. And my passenger window was down. And all of a sudden I see a rat, not only just looking in the window, but about to climb right in the window on my passenger side. So of course I freaked out. I screamed. I rolled up the window so fast and I'm like shaking, trembling. And then now it's on the front of my car. So of course, like any normal human being, I grabbed my phone to capture this because I wanted to show my friends. She's pretty much saying if it's not on the gram, it did not happen. Now, moving on from the Kyle Richards and the Dorit and PK of it all. Listen, she could be right now in Dorit's face like, oh, you're heading for Splitsville? Do you remember when you weren't a good friend to me? Remember when you asked me the inappropriate questions that were appropriate for you because you needed to solidify your contract, but as a friend, they were inappropriate to me, and you decided to ask those questions on camera? My turn. Whoop! Okay. Now moving on. Who better than Jax Taylor? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Jax apparently is slamming Katie Maloney as Ariana Madix's accessory. Jax Taylor has never been a fan of his former Vanderpump Rules co-star Katie Maloney, and when she made a snide comment about his new sports bar, Jax's Studio City, he didn't hesitate to clap back. On Watch What Happens Live, Katie suggested that Jax's new establishment is merely an appendage to the already established Rocco's Tavern, and the Something About Her co-owner called it a bonus room. When the Daily Dish asked Jax for a response to Katie's Watch What Happens Live shade, Jax commented, Katie is an accessory. She was Stassi's accessory. Now she's Ariana's accessory. But Jax and Katie never really had much love lost between them. They had a history of obviously not getting along for a long time. And I mean, are we shocked by this? Because I'm going to lean with no. But do want to celebrate some things for Katie right now, even though she's being called an accessory. And I do wonder, what does Katie's future look like without Vanderpump Rules? If it is, in fact, just on a pause, then okay, she has at least another paycheck or two coming in from the show. But if it's not on pause and they just decide, listen, the Valley is where it's at, then we have a totally different issue, because what are you going to do for money? Something About Her, I'm sure it'll bring money in, but it's not going to be like the most profitable. It's, you know what I mean? It's a sandwich shop at the end of the day. All right. I want to show you, though, Something About Her. Thank you to Bywig Hello Drama. This is their menu. You can see the sandwiches. Actually, I was looking at the sandwiches too, and they range from like $14 to like $18, I think, which I didn't think was totally bad. There's treats, there's desserts, there's drinks. This is her. Something About Her with Dan and Ariana. I mean, they look like little sandwiches, but it's also, by the way, it is also Los Angeles and West Hollywood. I know that people are saying right now, I feel like these sandwiches are so small and they're so expensive. I just want to say, I was on a Subway kick when I first moved back to Sherman Oaks, and I would go to Subway 3 times a week with my mom and walk over. I would walk in, I would get my mom a foot long and me a foot long, 2 chips, 2 drinks, and I was paying $30. Is this a little bit more? Yes, but it's also not a Subway. I'm trying, ladies. I'm trying. But wait, there's more drama. Kristen responds to Janet saying that she and Zach didn't want her to have a healthy pregnancy and baby.
Perceived as you trying to ice Kristen out. And I think that the audience, you're new to a lot of the audience and Kristen is not. And it's sort of this like, I think a lot of people are rooting for Kristen. It's her big comeback on the show and all these things. Do you think about that and how it's sort of informing how people are taking what's happened on the show?
I think audience members don't like, and when people won't film with each other, they're perceiving icing each other out, of course. And, you know, all I can say is it wasn't about Kristen. It wasn't about me icing her out or making her feel a certain way. I had to protect myself and my space there. And if Kristen would have been a friend to me this summer and would have been supportive of my pregnancy, checking in on me, being a little bit more delicate with me, like, it's not that I'm hiding behind my pregnancy. It's pregnancy is hard. You're carrying and making a life. So I wanted people around me that instead of saying, oh, you're using your pregnancy to be conniving or a mean girl, I wanted people who are like, we know that this is difficult and what can we do to support you and be kind to you during this time? Like, body's going through a lot. My hormones are going through a lot. I really wanted to be surrounded by people that were being kind, and not just to me, but to each other, and that we're getting along. And Kristen wasn't that this summer, unfortunately. And Zach and I just weren't in a good place where, you know, it made sense.
Didn't make sense.
I was just being authentic to what I would have done either way. And I didn't think about the audience and cameras. I just went out there, you know, wanting to be my true self and surrounding people that wanted to see my pregnancy go to full term and see me become a mom and have a healthy child. And now I'm pretty certain that that is not what Kristen and Zach wanted.
Oof. And Kristen said, I had a fucking pregnancy loss. I would never in a million years say something like that. Wait for me to post the text where I asked her about her pregnancy, including when she texted me the baby's first heartbeat. And oh yeah, I was at the gender reveal. This is revolting. Oof. Okay. Guys, I want to hear what your thoughts are. So pop off in the comment section. If you guys are not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.